Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about a case study here from Aitx, Red Devices, whatever you want to call it. Case study for auto dealers. This one goes way back to 2021. This is an old case study, and I figured, you know what? Let's go over it. Let's dive a little deeper here. I looked through this website. I finally started checking out websites. I started checking out the company, their machines. I'm gonna go over all of that in another video. Right now, I just want to look at the use cases more than anything, but I clicked here on markets served. And I was just curious, like, okay, what markets do they serve right now, and what are we missing here? HOA homeowner associations face an increasing challenge in finding affordable solutions that protect property of homeowners, perimeter security, clinical infrastructure, corporate campus, healthcare centers, logistics distribution centers, education, banking, and finance. Pretty much everywhere. I mean, honestly, now we're moving on to residential, so they could add that on there as well, because now they're moving into residential. I wonder if they're ever when I see this web page, I'm like, are they ever gonna move into? I don't know. I don't see this happening, but are they ever gonna move into? I'm not gonna say warfare, but I know Sybil for a fact they are in the Department of Defense. They sold they're selling their drones to the Ukraine. So if a penny stock can do it like Sybil, even though it's in CE, I imagine if Steve really wanted to, because we know he's very much capable, he could probably go into he could have another subsidiary that just focuses on, I don't know, defense or whatever. He could. I'm pretty sure he could. I wonder if that's something that I don't think he would though. I don't think that's a market he wants to serve or be a part of. But maybe we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. But you never know, right? But look at that. Banking, finance, education. They're all over the place. But they still got plenty more places they can hook up with security solutions. So definitely they will be adding RAD residential in the future. But yeah, I just found that interesting just looking through that their list of markets that they serve currently. I imagine in the future, like I said, I wonder if they are willing to go beyond all that and maybe worldwide while also maybe serving military branches. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just speculating right now. Who knows? But again, I wonder if he would want to or not. Like to go into that territory of creating essentially devices that are good at unaliving people, to put it that way. I'll stop there because this is getting pretty grim. We're here for the case study for auto dealers who keep watching over your inventory while you watch sales grow. Let's look through this. I was interested in this one specifically because I recently sold my smart car to a dealership, and then I bought a Honda. So there's that. I upgraded this little car. I don't feel safe in it anymore. Let me get a Honda Civic. Those you can't go wrong with a Honda Civic. Protecting inventory and ensuring a safe shopping and working environment is more challenging than ever as a customer and staff expectations become increasingly more demanding. Recent reports indicate that auto thieves are now implementing high-tech strategies in their surveillance of vulnerable dealers' lots and showrooms. Villains. I can't believe we're using the word villains. These villains can take advantage of weak security installations with their own video reconnaissance, employing, as just one example, inexpensive wildlife cameras in an effort to identify the ideal time and location for the snatching of your inventory. That's so smart. And that makes sense, actually. If you think about that for a second, that actually makes sense. You would think that thieves, if they have access to some juicy technology, they would be able to do a much better job at doing well at doing their job. I don't know if I would call it a job, but they would do a much better job because they do have the technology to. Man, this makes me think. Like, could you imagine thieves using AI and the AI tells them, "Hey, the best time to steal from this person or this individual from this company or from this store or whatever the case may be would be at this time at this location right here. Best time to be stealing from these people or whatever the case may be. Or this family doesn't live here in the summer. They move away for about a couple months and no one is there. You can easily blah 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 enter through here. Like, could you imagine that? That is ridiculous. I never thought of that. I never thought of that. Thieves using, criminals using technology, AI, to do a better job at uh, doing crimes. I guess is really what it is. I may, or maybe I just gave people ideas, but you're going to need something to counter all that. That's true. We're going to need something to counter all that because you just can't have villains, as as this article calls him. You can't have villains having these high tech strategies and nothing to counter it because they'll just have a field day if there's no one to stop them. That makes sense actually, and that's kind of scary to think about. Like, whoa, they're getting this high tech. Anyways, let's continue here before I continue rambling about committing crimes using AI. Uh, let's see. They take advantage of the weak security solutions, the presence of loiterers and unwanted patrons, placing an unnecessary indirect cost on businesses because of the difficulties it creates. And they feel the need to employ additional security personnel in order to reduce the impact of vagrants and loiterers. Okay, so they placed a red device that acts just like a guard but without the high cost and related liabilities. The platform includes comprehensive messaging and audio options and a host of other features in one simple to install security in a box solution. A physical deterrent that is highly visible. Well, I wish these machines could kick people. Like, hey, sir, you're being a Johnson. Here's a it just kicks you. It just runs you over. The Romeo just runs you over. Like, I guess would Aitx get sued at that point if if it starts attacking people? Create non-biased, non-discriminatory, fully recording autonomous and remote to situations in progress. Situational awareness provided to on-site or off-site responders. So here's some statistics from the Uniform Crime Reporting Program. When vehicles are stolen from an auto dealership, the recovery rate is just 50 to 60%. That sucks. So for every 100 stolen, 40 of them essentially they don't get those back. 40 times like 30 grand, assuming yeah, they're probably not stealing cheap cars either, right? So probably more than 40 grand per car or 30 grand per car. That's a lot of money actually. Holy crap. 30. Yeah, so it is worth it. It is worth it because if you think about it, if their recovery rate, if they only recover, let's just say 50% of the vehicles stolen, and let's just say each vehicle stolen is probably 50K minimum. I mean, out of 100 calls, out of 100 cars stolen, that would mean 50 of them they just never see again. That's ridiculous. That's a lot of money. What is that? 2.5 million? 50 times 50? I just did it in my head. I might be wrong. 50 times 50,000. It better be 2.5 million. Is it more than that? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Holy crap. I still know how to do math in my head. Yeah, that's a lot of money. 2. 2.5 million? I wouldn't want to I would not want to run an auto dealership at that point. I'll just keep my 2.5 million. Thank you very much. 30% of these recovered vehicles are returned damaged. That sucks. So that then it's that brings down, yeah, well, now you can't sell it for as much as it was worth at that point. With an average of $1,500 in damage, only 12% of auto theft incidents result in an arrest. That's a horrible combination. Hey, you only recover half of your vehicle stolen and 30% of them are damaged, so now you have to sell it for less than what it was worth before it got stolen, and then combine that with the fact that there's not many arrests, only 12%. So maybe, yeah, no, that sucks. That's actually really bad for auto dealers. One dealership was experiencing an issue where a customer had claimed damage to their vehicle occurred while their car was in for service. After installing a single Red Rosa unit that accurately documented the condition of the suspect vehicle when it arrived for service, the dealership was able to identify whether damage had actually occurred. The single event gave this one dealership the ability to protect themselves against false claims, and they estimate that it saved them at least $25,000 over 2 years. I can't believe people are that petty. Like, hey, you did damage to it, so you need to, I'm going to sue you. There are people like that. They will sue you for anything. They could be in the wrong and they just want to sue you because they don't want to work. I've heard that. At least I'm not going to say anything. I'll just stop there. But I've heard there are certain types of people who that's all they do. They're just looking for a reason to sue you. They don't want to work. They just want to sue and make lots of money doing nothing, basically. They don't want to be a part of society, apparently. The I don't like to be told types. Like me. That's why I do YouTube. Anyways, let's continue here. We're at smart security devices install confidence, performance, and savings. Usually within minutes, they are easy to install and deploy. It's essentially a plug and play. It really is as easy as plug the device in. Yeah, it is plug and play essentially. Scott. So now we're going to go over the devices that they installed. I mean, I imagine a lot of auto dealers if they see this, yeah, if they see this solution here, I mean, it's a pretty cheap solution. You don't gotta hire guards or anything. It would save you a lot of money too. I mean, 2.5 million is no joke. Because I'm assuming that the villains, as they like to call them, I'm assuming they're stealing like $100,000 cars. Like they're probably not targeting some cheap piece of crap, right? They're not targeting used car dealers, I imagine. Okay, Scott, standing over 7 feet tall. Scott is capable of manning and monitoring locations 24/7 at a fraction of the cost of a manned security personnel. With its 360 field of view through 4 high-positioned, high-resolution, full-color, always-on digital cameras, place eyes on property and periphery, unlike any other product. Scott can be positioned and engaged to monitor and record both human and vehicle activity in any environment, indoors or outdoors. Interesting. Yeah, so basically there's a whole machine just watching us 24/7. That's the future right there, my friends. Everywhere you go, there's going to be a machine watching you. Uh, They can they can literally these machines can have eyes everywhere. Literally. We can't do that. We only have 2 eyes and unfortunately we can't like put one eyeball over here. Let me watch the stove with one eye and let me go get some McDonald's with the other eye. Like that doesn't maybe not a great example, but you get the point. We can't have we can't have eyes everywhere. These things can. We're going to be watched 24/7, literally. Besides being in your home, as soon as you go outside, you're not going to have privacy anywhere you go. You can't even pee in the bush anymore in the future. Rosa is a security supplemental device that includes a critical autonomous response to help simulate security personnel actions at a fraction of the cost. The device's 180-degree field of view through dual high-resolution, full-color, always-on digital cameras provide 24/7 visibility and monitoring. So basically, I gotta stop saying basically. Like I said, they have eyes everywhere, and they're 24/7. As soon as you walk out your front door in the future, there's some machine looking at you, going, "Oh, that's that guy that likes to make YouTube videos. Oh, that's that girl. That's that one guy that likes to pee in the bush for some reason." Imagine getting arrested for that. Hey, stop peeing in the bush. That machine caught you. This isn't Seinfeld though, so that probably won't happen. I hope. Rosa can also be used to recognize and deter loitering. An alarm is activated after an internal countdown timer is set. And it goes off, and then an on-duty guard would be notified of the incident and would visually identify those suspicious individuals. And then the guard can initiate an audio announcement through the Rosa device notifying them that they must leave or the property would take appropriate further actions. So there doesn't have to be a physical confrontation between a guard and other humans who knows what they may be up to, what they may be hiding in their pockets. So that actually, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, hey, let me fight this robot. Like that doesn't make sense. You're gonna punch a robot. You'll probably hurt your hand. Let's be real. How sturdy are these machines? I've never seen one in person, and I'm here in the Midwest. I'm here in the suburbs of Chicago. I've never seen one around here. I would like to see one in person one day. Like I said, might go to the Rad Excellence Center one these days. I'm gonna have to talk to a friend and be like, hey, you want to go check out some machines? See if I can reach out to Reinhardt and get a personal tour or something. Make a fun video out of it. But I imagine they're very sturdy though. I don't think they're made of cheap parts, right? It looks like plastic, but I can't tell. Maybe in person it's a lot sturdier than it looks. If it's plastic, I mean you could just hit it over the head with some wrenches. Man, how long is this use case? Eva Autonomous Verified Access is a compact and mountable unit that seamlessly integrates with all other RAD devices and provides an edge-to-edge 180-degree field of vision with advanced access control over gates and entries. This provides a comprehensive access control package that is ideal for storage yards, parking structures, lots, corporate campuses, anywhere that increased visibility is needed at a fraction of the cost. Romeo. Okay, so wait. I think they are they just man. Is Romeo really that big? No way it's that big, right? This is photoshopped. No way Romeo is as big as a car. I was just saying, like, what if a Romeo just ran criminals over? Like, they would probably try to sue. First of all, even though you were the one doing the crime, you're gonna sue the company because you got ran over for whatever. It's crazy. I don't know if you guys have seen that in the news. People just sue, even though they're in the wrong, they'll sue. Like what? Does it even make sense? Do these people even use a brain? Do they even have one? That's the real question. Like you were in the wrong, sir. Why are you surprised that you got hurt? Don't do crime if you don't want to do the time, as they say. Romeo with mobility, speed, and power. Romeo is the robot for the job. Innovative from the ground up to its impressive nearly seven. I mean, that is big. 7 feet total height. Romeo is an outdoor security robot unlike any deployed to date. It can move up to 12 miles per hour. Wow, I didn't know that. That's something I didn't know. It's funny because I always talk about the technicals. I did not know that this robot. I did not know Romeo could move 12 miles per hour. Like you better, you better be Usain Bolt, and you better not run out of gas if you're trying to run away from this thing. It can actually run some people over that can't run faster. Because 12 miles per hour, you can't keep that up for long. Maybe for like a minute or two. If you're not in shape, yeah. If you're in shape, I guess if you're a track runner and for some reason you're committing a crime, then maybe you might be able to get away from Romeo here. If it does, I don't think it chases, but could you imagine trying to run away from it? Just runs over. That thing is huge. Is it really that huge though? Has anyone seen these in person? Are they that big? Because in this picture, it really does make it look like it's the size of those cars, and it's so tall, 7 feet. Romeo will patrol sites, plan and execute routes, avoid obstacles, and collect and apply data. It avoids obstacles, people's trees, power poles. That's interesting. I wonder if it can run me over by accident so I can sue them. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Just making a joke. There are people who would do that. They're like, man, I hope this thing runs me over by accident so I can sue the company. Yeah, your robot ran me over and I demand money. There are people who are just on the lookout for that. That's people these days. Today's auto dealers are utilizing new tools and technologies to enhance the buying experience, sell more cars, and protect inventory. Let's see. Is there anything else here? Okay, no, that's about it. Let's look at the conclusions, see if there's anything else. There's a lot that I learned from reading through this. I know, like I said, I acknowledge that I always talk about the technos, never really dive deep into anything other than, hey, buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. That's literally all I do. Let's be real. I point to a chart and say buy here, sell here. I'm not gonna pretend like I don't do anything special. I don't. These RAD solutions will not prevent or stop all crime from occurring, but they will supplement any auto dealer's efforts to deter, alert, apprehend, and eventually prosecute offenders with reduced risk of harm and injury to personnel and great reductions in cost. You know what's funny is I'm reading through this and I'm like, this is just the beginning though. Imagine in the future when they start adding drones, start adding the ability to I don't know if, I don't know how that would work, but I imagine in the future you would have the ability to add some kind of machine that comes out and it can handle business. Like you won't even need officers anymore. This humanoid robot will take care of everything. A humanoid robot, if those become real, I think they are going to become real. I shouldn't say if, when they become real, when it's a real thing, when they can move like we can move and handle business. I mean, combine that with drones, like I don't think you're going to want to commit crimes in the future. Like you're going to have to bring your own humanoid robot. Holy crap, I just thought of that. Oh my god. Imagine being a criminal and you use a humanoid robot to infiltrate a place and steal cars. Like, whoa. The future is going to be fun, scary, and interesting all at the same time. There's so much, guys. I try to think ahead and like, well, what are criminals going to do to adapt? I mean, there's going to be all this new security. What are they going to do to adapt? They're going to have to come up with a way to still continue to do. For some reason, their job is to steal cars. Apparently, they're still going to have to fight. They're going to adapt, right? That's what people do. We adapt. That's what we do. We adapt. We're really good at that. Think about that for a second. We humans, we're really good at adaptation. So I imagine there's always got to be a counter to something. And then you have to create a counter to that. And that just means more money in the company's pockets at the end of the day, right? So I'm just thinking ahead here, speculating. But humanoid robots, that's gonna be awesome and scary. Like you just can't mess with a humanoid robot. What are you gonna do if it tells you to stop and you don't listen? You're gonna get I imagine it could just pick you up and what are you gonna like? What are you gonna do? We're flesh. You punch it, you'll break your own hand. Like so, I think this is just the beginning. I'm very bullish on AI. You guys know I'm very bullish on AI long term. That's why I keep saying buy AITX, buy Nvidia. I am waiting for AITX to uplist before I go long term. And I will still continue to swing trade it because AI stocks are hot. They're still hot. They're going to continue to be hot. It's not going anywhere. Still in its infancy. I keep clicking on Nvidia because I want to look at the share price. I'm pretty sure it popped and then it's coming back down. It's probably going to come back down anyways. I would look to buy the dip on that one as well, just to accumulate it. Same thing. If you're accumulating AITX for every, I don't know, 100,000 shares of AITX or 200,000 shares of AITX, for every $1,000 worth of AITX that you buy, probably just buy one Nvidia and thank me later. I'm that bullish and that confident. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in the future you'll be like, bro, you suck. I lost all my money. Where do you live? I'm gonna go beat you. I'm gonna go beat your. Anyways, I've been rambling too long. That was the use cases for the case study for the auto dealership. I learned a lot from reading this. Hope you did too. I look forward to the future, despite how interesting and scary it's going to be. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.